Yeah, we back. Quick video. Gonna be responding to this individual who came across my attention. I don't even know who this guy is. If y'all know who he is, you can let me know. But I just saw him going on this rant, this unhinged rant. I don't know. He's probably on drugs or something. Or maybe he was sober. I don't really know. But anyway, this guy basically going on a rant. And I'm going to just let him dive right into it. And then I'm going to come back on my commentary.
And the answer, according to the left, is take even more money from white men in America and give it to Africa. This is a black hole of consumption. And all we're doing is creating more starving Africans. It strikes me as a bad plan. But I'm supposed to feel guilty about it. And here's the thing. This line of propaganda will work. It can work. You know why? Because the majority of the voting public in America is women. And this kind of emotional-laden propaganda not only appeals to women, but women are themselves by nature amenable to resources being taken from white men and distributed to those who need it so it'll be fair. Like Timmy brought in a bag of candy to kindergarten. He better have brought enough for everybody. Gotta be fair.
All right, we back. Now, that's why when it comes to me, guys like this, they're all talk to me. They just run their mouth. They're not talking about nothing because I really want them to put their money where their mouth is. I want the multinational corporations shut down your doors and hand over your assets. I really want them to put their money where their mouth is because these guys run their mouth, but the nonsense they talk doesn't match the reality. Like I told you, this demographic lives in an alternate universe. They don't occupy the same space as we do in the regular universe. They truly believe that they're doing charity and engaging in philanthropy. They really think they're actually doing humanitarian aid and humanitarian work. And you should actually be grateful to them instead of the other way around. And you would think, right, a gentleman of his age, he should actually understand the world enough. You know, I see all them gray hairs in your beard all over your head. You would think that he would have the wisdom and the knowledge to understand that you're not engaging in charity. Really, no. And if you want to be honest, you're the one coming out on the positive end of the situation. You're the one coming out on the positive end of the transaction. But you actually believe that you're actually doing charity and humanitarian aid. And that's really what blows my mind. Right? And you're supposed to be the elder in your community, right? You're supposed to be the beacon of wisdom in your community. And this is the garbage you're talking about in front of the internet. But anyway, not wasting no time, man. Take a look up on the screen. As you can see, the Trump administration's Africa strategy. The Trump administration, which once wanted to cut development assistance by 30%, has now promised to use it efficiently and effectively to further U.S. interests in the region. Okay, so now we're talking, right? So no, you're not doing humanitarian aid. You're not doing charity. You're not giving nobody no free money. You're here to further and defend and strengthen your interests in the region, right? And those interests are going to benefit the American citizen, right? And who's the American citizen? Yo, goofy ass, right? So what are you talking about, bro? What are you ranting about? What are you raising your voice and ranting about women about? You're a goofy. But anyway, let's continue. What are some other American interests on the continent that's going to benefit the American citizen way more than the average African citizen? Let's talk about the Lobito Corridor. As you can see, the United States and the European Union unveiled the next steps in the expansion of Angola's Lobito Corridor. Now, what is the Lobito Corridor? I'm sure some of y'all probably heard that if y'all follow my channel. Framed as Africa's first open access transcontinental railway and a clean corridor for critical minerals, the Lobito Corridor is presented by the European Union and the United States as a driver of regional integration, improved infrastructure in host countries, and faster transport of critical minerals to the global markets. Now, goofball, when you talk about, oh, my money is going to Africa, my aid is going to Africa, this is why the aid is going to Africa. So you can sit at home comfortable in front of your internet looking goofy, right? Comfortable, right? Living lovely. That's why the money's going to Africa, right? So you can make sure the critical minerals keep coming to the global markets so you can live a comfortable life off the back of the average African citizen. Now, take a look up on the screen. Look at the consequences of the Lobito Corridor. Thousands in the Congo could face eviction because of the Lobito Corridor. The United States and the European Union critical minerals project could displace thousands in the DRC, right? So thousands of people might be displaced, right? So fat guys like this can sit on the internet looking goofy and living comfortable, right? And living lovely. And then he's going to have the audacity and the nerve to say that he's the one doing charity. He's the one having to sacrifice himself for somebody else. He's the one, oh, my money's going, look where my money's going. My money's going to Africa because of the women. Bro, goofy. And that's just a little sneak peek into the economic interests of the United States. I didn't even talk about the security interests or nothing like that. United States Africa Command, right? We didn't even talk about that. Now, luckily, a couple years ago, the United States got kicked out of their multi-million-dollar drone base down in Niger, right? Yeah, you got evicted out of your biggest military investment on the continent, right? Because you know what? Sometimes you got to put your money where your mouth is. Enough of this beating on your chest about your charity. Now you got to put your money where your mouth is. So yeah, that drone base in Niger, close that drone base. $100 million drone base, $100 million investment, shut that down, right? Because the guys like this, I celebrate when that happens because guys like this have to put their money where their mouth is, right? When you do business with somebody, when you engage in commerce with somebody, it's just basic respect that you have, right? Basic respect for the customer, basic respect for the vendor, right? And if you don't got basic respect, then we don't need your money. That's how I feel in real life. That's how I operate as well. If you don't got basic respect, I'm not going to tolerate your disrespect just so I can make $1. You can keep your money and you can go back to where you came from and put your money where your mouth is and stop talking all that shit. That's how I feel. That's why when the French was getting smacked up and getting kicked out of various countries on the continent, I was celebrating because these guys have to put their money where their mouth is. You are not philanthropists. You are not humanitarians. You are charlatans trying to get money underhanded under the table, right? You're thieves and crooks engaging in economic crimes. And speaking of economic crimes, take a look up on the screen. Africa could gain $89 billion annually by curbing illicit financial flows. Now, what are illicit financial flows? Illicit financial flows are the movement of illegally earned, transferred, or used money across international borders, stemming from criminal activities, corruption, and commercial tax evasion or trade mispricing. These cross-border transfers contravene national and international laws and have damaging economic consequences for developing nations. And if you remember, that was also the reason why Niger had taken back the uranium mine back from Orano, the French multinational corporation. Why? Because they were engaging in economic crimes. They were engaging in illicit financial flows, right? Cosplaying as philanthropists, posing as philanthropists, when in reality, you're running off with money under the table. You're running off with money undeclared, throwing out fraudulent invoices, right? You're engaging in corruption. You're taking out more money than you're putting in. So, but then you want to pose as a philanthropist and you're doing charity for the community. Bro, please stop all that bickering and beefing. You ain't talking about nothing. You're talking about nonsense, trying to boost your own ego and make yourself feel important. You're not important. You're a leech. You're a parasite. Recognize who you are. But anyways, let's continue talking about these so-called illicit financial flows. By their very elusive nature, illicit financial flows are difficult to track. Typically, this money leaves Africa to end up in developing countries and in tax havens around the world. Recent numbers by the Center for Global Development indicate that developing countries lose between 8 and 100 billion a year in illicit flows to Switzerland. So these are the guys talking about they're doing charity for the community, running off with the money and throwing it in Swiss banks. But anyway, let's continue. Fucking clowns, bro. It shows that these outflows are nearly as much as the combined total annual flows of development assistance valued at 48 billion and the yearly foreign direct investment pegged at 54 billion. That means that when you combine the so-called foreign aid and you combine all the capital that counts as investments, right, for your so-called economic interests, that amount of money combined, the foreign aid and the investments, it is nearly as much as the outflow, the illicit flows outward, the money extracted under the table, right? So you're actually extracting either as much or even more than what you're putting in, but you want to pose as a philanthropist and somebody engaging in humanitarian charity, and you expect me to take you seriously. Bro, cut off the camera, cut off the microphone, right? Go schedule your colonoscopy, right? Go take your goddamn blood pressure medication and sit down somewhere, bro. Sit down somewhere and watch the football game. And here's the reality. This is what I truly want. Right? I truly want you to save your taxpayer dollars. And I want, like you said, you don't want your money being sent over to Africa, right? To defend U.S. interests. That's totally fine. I'm with you, right? Take that money away. Take that money off the table, right? All the contracts, rip up all the contracts, right? The Lobito corridor, shut down the deal, right? Shut down all the construction, shut all that down, right? All the so-called the military security agreements, terminate them. Any military bases you have, the military base out in Djibouti or Somalia, or wherever you at, shut it down, right? All them little deals you got with Ivory Coast, Mauritania, Algeria, terminate those military security agreements, shut it down. And when it comes to the mines, surrender all your assets, all your interests in all the mines. Tell Apple, tell Tesla, tell Lockheed Martin to get the hell out the continent. Tell them ASAP. I dare you. But guess what? You will never do that. You will never do that because you're not a humanitarian. You're a businessman engaging in commerce. You're not a philanthropist. You're a businessman engaging in commerce. You're not doing charity. In fact, you're actually a scammer engaging in fraud. So enough of this ranting and raving and beating on your chest like you somebody important. You ain't shit. You a leech. So cut off the camera, right? Cut off the camera, turn off the computer, and go take a nap because you sounding delusional. Now, the problems for you are going to begin when you get individuals in power that have my mentality. That's when the issues for you are going to begin. That's when you're going to start crying and begging for mercy, right? When you have somebody with my mentality in the reins of government, in the reins of power. That's when you're going to start talking with humility and respect, right? Because right now you're beating on your chest because you never had nobody ever put you in check, right? You're a delusional old man. Go take a nap and just go watch the goddamn football game like I said. Anyway, it's your boy Neferkar Desaline back in the Billy S and D. Cash App in the description. Support the Patreon NTD1814. Second single off the next project, The Spy and Bamako. Pin comment at the top. And I'm gone. Peace.
Feel like it's see me, I feel like I'm Saudi or ran up on Yana in the middle of Bamako. Enemy line, they claiming he innocent. Don't do no talking, I gotta move militant. Don't do no talking, I hit him with facts. 1804, bringing it back. 1804 like I'm Mother Cap Henry. King with the vision, the crown never empty. Top of the mountain, my soldiers defend me. Ducking and dodging the foreign intelligence. Hitting my dance on the DGSE. Dodging they traps, still on my feet. Feeling impeccable, feel like I'm shining. Go to my neck and I'm flooded with diamonds. Go to my neck and I feel like a mess. Feel like a lion, I'm in a savannah. Feel like the king when I'm up in the jungle. Never defeated, I never been humble. Come out victorious every encounter. Money machine give me help when I count it. Money machine stack it up in a beat. Heart of a king and I ride for the team. Weight of the world got it stuck on my shoulders. Bet you can feel it, my heart getting colder. Yeah, gotta stay focused so when it's in shots, I gotta react. Cause I'm a target, I'm under attack. Grabbing a weapon, I tell him get back. Mission exposed, secrets unfold. Enemy try, but I'm still in control. Got your boy sitting in Bamako prison, hoping they wish we sending them home. Enemy know that we good under pressure. Been through the thunderous, turbulent storm. Shorty a diamond, I told her she pressure. Hop in a whip and I'm taking her home. Hop in a whip and I'm swerving, I'm smashed. Killing my enemies, one of my passion. Rocking this gold like we in bikini. Feel like the captain, I'm clutching a heater. Yeah, gotta stay focused so when it's in shots, I gotta react. Cause I'm a target, I'm under attack. Grabbing a weapon, I tell her get back. Mission exposed, secrets unfold. Enemy try, but I'm still in control. Got your boy sitting in Bamako prison, hoping they wish we sending them home. Enemy know that we good under pressure. Been through the thunderous, turbulent storm. Shorty a diamond, I told her she pressure. Hop in a whip and I'm taking her home. Hop in a whip and I'm swerving, I'm smashed. Killing my enemies, one of my passion. Rocking this gold like we in bikini. Feel like the captain, I'm clutching a heat.